Poetry Center, bringing poetry to Patterson since 1980 at Passaic County Community College.
I'm really excited to be presenting this reading. Here she is. Presenting this reading today, and to say that none of our programs, not the readings or the Poets in the Schools programs that we do, or the programs that we do in cooperation with the Patterson Public Schools, or the magazine, or the Poetry Library, or any of the rest of it, or any of the awards, would be possible without the college, which has supported us tremendously, Passaic County Community College, and has always come up with the money when we were short of money, and also without the grants from the New Jersey State Council on the Arts, and the Geraldine R. Dodge Foundation grant, and the money that we get from individual donors who become members of the Poetry Center, or donors or benefactors to the Poetry Center. So we hope you'll continue to give funds so that we can continue to expand the programs that we run. Anyway, the people who are reading today all won the Patterson Poetry Prize this past year. And the prize at this point, we've been giving the prize about, you know, I'm so bad with the amount of time, but I would say about 12 years. I get these ideas and they always get to be a lot bigger than I anticipated in the beginning. You know, I think I'm going to do some little thing and it turns out to be a much bigger thing than I originally anticipated. But I'm really pleased now to pick up various books and to see people mentioning that they won the Patterson Poetry Prize, and mentioning in their bios that they won the Patterson Poetry Prize, and to find that I went to read in Toronto and was invited to a party at the head of the creative writing program, the professor who runs the creative writing program at the University of Toronto, and he actually knew our logo. As soon as I said my name, he described the logo to me and went through our list of prizes, and it was so wonderful to think, here's this guy in Toronto who knows about us and even knows the logo on our letterhead, and that is on all our advertisements. So that was kind of fun. Anyway, I think you'll see that the poets who won this prize are amazing American poets who all write in very different ways from one another, but who all manage to break some new ground in their poetry. And I think you'll agree when you hear these winners. The first reader today is Marilyn Chin, and Marilyn was born in Hong Kong, raised in Portland, Oregon. She's the author of Rhapsody in Plain Yellow, The Phoenix Gone, The Terrace Empty, and Dwarf Bamboo, which was nominated for the Bay Area Book Reviewers Award. She also co-edited Dissident Song, Contemporary Asian American Anthology, and co-translated, you know, something wrong with using bifocals, because it's very hard to read up here. And co-translated the selected poems of Ching. I hope that's right. Her honors include 2 National Endowment for the Arts Writing Fellowships, the Mary Roberts Reinhardt Award, a Stegner Fellowship. She is a professor at San Diego State University, and she has a fellowship at the Radcliffe Institute at Harvard for this year, which is a pretty amazing thing to have gotten, and a really amazing bio, and I hope now you'll add the Patterson Poetry Prize to your list. Push, push. All right, let's welcome Marilyn Chin.
Thank you. It's great to be here. I have to begin with a blues poem, and it's but it's a blues poem after the African-American tradition, but with that one drop of yellow blood. It's called Blues on Yellow. The canary died in the gold mine. Her dreams got lost in the sieve. The canary died in the gold mine. Her dreams got lost in the sieve. Her husband, the crow, killed under the railroad. The spokes hath shorn his wings. Something's cooking in Chin's kitchen. 10,000 yellow-bellied sapsuckers baked in a pie. Something's cooking in Chin's kitchen. 10,000 yellow-bellied sapsuckers baked in a pie. Something's cooking in Chin's kitchen. Die, die, yellow bird, die, die. Oh, crack an egg on the griddle. Yellow will ooze into white. Oh, crack an egg on the griddle. Yellow will ooze into white. Run, run, sweet little Puritan. Yellow will ooze into white. If you cut my yellow fists, I'll teach my yellow toes to write. If you cut my yellow fists, I'll teach my yellow toes to write. If you cut my yellow wrists, I'll teach my yellow feet to fight. Do not be afraid to perish, my mother. Buddha's compassion is nigh. Do not be afraid to perish, my mother. Our boat will sail tonight. Your babies will reach the promised land. The stars will be their guide. I am so mellow yellow, Buddha sings in my veins. I am so mellow yellow, Buddha sings in my veins. Oh, take me to the land of the unreborn. There's no life on earth without pain. Thanks. So I took that three-bar traditional line structure with a repetitive second line and so forth, that traditional blues poem codified by Langston Hughes, and I took it, I cut it up, and I made other versions of the blues poem. This one is called Blues on Yellow 2, and this is one of those existential angst poem about sitting around with a boyfriend arguing with him about nothing, right? It's about having that, that hormonal moment. Blues on Yellow 2. Twilight casts a blue pall on the green grass. The moon hangs herself on the sickly date palm near the garage. Songbirds assault a bare jacaranda, then boogie toward Arizona. They are fewer this year than last. Sadness makes you haggard and me fat. Last night you bolted the refrigerator shut. Extra, extra, read all about it. Chinese girl eats herself to death. Kiss a cold banquet and purge the rest. There's room in the sarcophagus if you want it. I put my hair up in a bereavement knot. Yours grow thinner, whiter, a pink skull cap. My Levi's hang loosely and unzipped. You won't wash, won't shave, won't dress. I'm your rib, your apple, your adder. You are my father, my confessor, my ox, my draft. Heartbreak comes again. When does it come? When your lamp is half dim and my moon is half dark. This book just wanted to sing. The muse just wanted to sing, and she was singing in quatrains and in refrains. I mean, I don't know what. I think Quincy had something to do with it. He was giving me a hard time. But so I started writing a lot of quatrains as well, and I try to merge East and West. And I was reading the Shijing, the Book of Songs, the Chinese Book of Songs, and Chinese quatrains, and I merged them with the English quatrains. So these are called Chinese quatrains, The Woman in Tomb 44. The airplane is shaped like a bird or a giant mechanical penis. My father escorts my mother from girlhood to unhappiness. A dragonfly has iridescent wings. Shorn is the lowly pismire, plucked of arms and legs, a throbbing red pepper pod. Baby, she's a girl, pinkly propped as a doll. Baby, she's a pearl, an oyster in the oyster of God. Cry, little baby clam, cry. Your steam has opened your eyes. Your secret darkly hidden. The razor is sharpening the knife. Abandoned taro leaf boat, its lonely black sail broken. The corpses are fat and bejeweled. The hull is thoroughly rotten. The worm has entered the ear and out the nose of my father, cleaned the pelvis of my mother, and ringed around her finger bone. One child beats a bedpan, one beats a fishhook out of wire, one beats his half-sister on the head. Oh, teach us to fish and love. Don't say your boudoir is too narrow. She could sleep but in one cold bed. Don't say you own many horses. We escaped on her skinny mare's back. Man is good, said Mengzi. We must cultivate their natures. Man is evil, said Swinzi. There's a worm in the human heart. He gleaned a beaded purse from Hong Kong. He procured an oval fan from Taiwan. She married him for a green card. He abandoned her for a blonde. My grandmother is calling her goslings. My mother is summoning her hens. The sun has vanished into the ocean. The moon has drowned in the fen. Disc of jade for her eyelids, a lozenge, a pearl for her throat, lapis and kudzu in her nostrils. They will rob her again and again. I like to end with this longish poem. It's called, the title poem is called Rhapsody in Plain Yellow. And the title of the book, I mean, of course, it's supposed to be an ironic title. It's double appropriation. It's a Chinese-American poet referencing an East European American Jewish composer referencing the African-American blues. So it comes full circle in terms of our global inheritance of poetry and music and the great arts. And so this piece is called Rhapsody in Plain Yellow, and I wrote it for my boyfriend who died in 2000 in an airplane crash, and so it was a very strange occasion that when I wrote this poem and I presented it to him. I said, baby, look at this poem I wrote for you. And he didn't get it. And he said, oh, okay, whatever, thanks, whatever. And then after he died, I just put the date behind the title, and it turned into an elegy. It's totally bizarre, and I think the muse knew something that I didn't know. And so the muse was clairvoyant. Rhapsody in Plain Yellow, for my love, Charles. Say, I love you, I love you, I love you, no matter your race, your sex, your color. Say, the moon is round and the Arctic is cold. Say, I shall kiss the rondeur of your soul's living marrow. Say, he's beautiful, serenely beautiful, yet only ephemerally so. Say, Her Majesty combs her long black hair for hours. Say, oh rainbows, and his eyes rainbows. Say, oh frills and fronds, I know you, Mr. Snail Consciousness. Oh foot plotting the underside of leaves. Say, I am nothing without you, Ms. Look East, without you, I am utterly empty. Say, the small throat of sorrow. Say, China and France, say, beauty and loss, the dross of centuries. Say, nothing in their feudal antechamber shall relinquish us of our beauty. Say, Mimosa, this is not a marriage song. Say, when I was a young girl in Hong Kong, a prince came on a horse. I believe it was piebald. Oh, dead prince, dead prince who paid for my ardour. Say, oh foot, oh egg, oh warbling oratorio. Say, darling, use love only as a transitive verb for the first 40 years of your life. Say, I have felt this before. It's soft, human. Say, my love is a fragile concertina. Say, you always love them in the beginning, then you take them to slaughter. Oh, her coarse whispers. Oh, her soft bangs. By their withers, they are emblazoned doppelgangers. Say, beauty and terror, beauty and terror. Say, the house is filled with perfume, dancing sonatinas, and pungent flowers. Say, houses filled with combs, and the mistress's wan ankle. Say, embrace the Anlushan ascendancy and the fantastical diaspora of tears. Say, down blue margins, my inky love runs. Tearfully the pearl concubine runs. There's a tear in his left eye, sadness or debris. Say, reverence to her. Say, I am a very small boy. I am a teeny weeny little boy who yearns to be punished. Say, I can't live without you, headmistress. I'm a little lamb, a consenting little lamb. I'm a sheep without his fold. Say, God does not exist and hell is other people. And Mabel, can't we get out of this hotel? Say, Gregor Samsa, someone in Tuscaloosa thinks you're magnifico. She will kiss your battered cheek, embrace your broken skull. Say, is the apple half eaten or half whole? Suddenly he moves within me. How do I know that he's not death? In death there is certain cesura. Say, there is poetry in his body. Say, yes, is this dead love, this dead love, this dead love, this deathly love, this white percale, white of hail, of heavenly shell, centrifolia. Say, kiss her sweet lips. Say, what rhymes with flower, bower, shower, power. Say, I am that yellow girl, that famished little girl from the first world. Say, I don't give a shit about nothing except my cat, your cock, and poetry. Say, a refuge between sleeping and dying. Say, to Maui, creeps in his petty pompadour. Day to day, her milk of human kindness ran dry. I shall die of jejun, la luna. Say, a beleaguered soldier of fine arts had he. Say, I have seen the small men of my generation, rabid, discreet, hysterical, Lilliput, naked. Say, Friday is okay, we'll have fish. Say, Friday is not okay, he shall die of the measles near the bay. Say, Friday, just another savage day until Saturday, the true Sabbath, when they shall finally stay. Say, sojourner truth, say, I am dismayed by your cloying promiscuousness and fawning attitude. Say, Amadorfu. Say, he put cumin and tarragon in his stew. Say, he's the last wave of French Algerian Jews. He's a cousin of Helen Sassou, twice removed. Say, he recites the lost autobiography of Camus. Say, I'm a professor from the University of Stupidity. I cashed my welfare check and felt good. Say, I saw your mama crossing the bridge of magpies up the faded hillock with a lame ox. Your father was conspicuously absent. Admit that you loved your mother, you killed your father to marry your mother. Suddenly, my terrible childhood made sense. Say, beauty and truth, all you need to know on earth, all you need to know. Say, I was booging down Victoria Peak Way, and a slipper boy climbed off his ox. He importuned me for a kiss, a tiny one on his cankered lip. Say, O celebrant of a blessed life, false, fleeting hopes. Say, despair, despair, despair. Say, China woman, I am a contradiction in terms. I embody frugality and ecstasy. Friday Wong died on a Tuesday. Oh, how he loved his lambs. He was lost in the sheepfold. Say, another Mai Tai before your death. Another measure, another murmur before your last breath. Say, another boyfriend, Italianesque. Say, save, exit. Say, I am the sentence that shall finally elude her. Oh, the hell of heaven's girth, a low mound from here. Say, oh, a mother's vision of the emerald hills draws down her brows. Say, a brush of jade, a jasper plow furrow, contemplate things, cerebral, spiritual, open stuff. Reality, by definition, lack any spatial extension. We occupy no space and are not measurable. We do not move, undulate, or not in perpetual motion. Where, for example, is thinking? In the head, in my vulva? Whereas in my female lack of penis? Physical things, spatial extensions, mathematically measurable, preternaturally possible, lack bestial vegetable consciousness, lack happiness, lackluster, lack chutzpah, lack love. Say, a scentless camellia bush, bloody the afternoon. Fuck this line, can you really believe this? When did I become the master of suburban bliss? With whose tongue were we born? The language of the masters is the language of the aggressors. We've studied their cadences carefully, enrolled in a class to improve our accent. Meanwhile, they hover over, waiting for us to stumble, to drop an article, mispronouncing R. Say, softly, softly, the silent gunboats glide. Oh, onerous sibilance, oh, monopoetic glibness. Say, how could we write poetry at a time like this? A discipline that makes so much ado about so little. Willfully laconic, deceptively disguised as a love poem. Say, your engorging dictatorial flesh grazed mine. Would you have loved me more if I were black? Would I have loved you more if you were white? And you, relentless cynophile, holding my long hair, my frayed dreams. My turn to objectify you. I, the lunatic, the lover, the poet, the face of an orphan, static with flies, the scourge of the old world, which reminds us it ain't all randy-dandy in the new kingdom. Say, rebuke, decry, hills and canyons robbed by sun leave us nothing.